Welcome to my class students. It's class 8 English Honeydew. We are doing chapter 1. This is the best Christmas present in the world, and this is session 2. In the first session we have come to know about a person, the narrator you can say, who has bought a roll top desk from a junk shop at Bridgeport, and he thought he could mend that desk. When he came to home and he started mending the top desk, he found there was a secret drawer in that, and when he opened it with the force of his fist, he found a small black tin box. Inside, on the top of that, with sellotape, a lined note paper was there, and it was written there, the letter received at January, and it would be buried with me when the time comes. So, out of curiosity, he opened the tin box, and inside that he found an envelope. In that envelope, the receiver's address was of that Bridgeport, and it was dated December 26th, that is after Christmas. So, let's see what is there written in the letter. Dearest Connie, I write to you in a much happier frame of mind because something wonderful had just happened that I must tell you about at once. The person who has written the letter, he is in a happier frame of mind. Why he is in a happier frame of mind? Because something wonderful has happened in his life. Something wonderful had just happened, and once that moment passed, he started writing to his wife. Connie is wife of that writer who has written the letter. I must tell you about at once. We were all standing in our trenches. Trenches means the person is a soldier. Yesterday morning, Christmas morning, it was crisp and quiet all about. As beautiful a morning as I have ever seen. See, the date of the letter writing is 26th December. Christmas is always on 25th December. So, what happened on Christmas is written on this letter, and it is sent to Connie. And Connie is who? Connie is wife of that writer who has written the letter. So, yesterday morning, that is in a Christmas morning, the writer or the person was standing in his trenches. It was crisp and quiet all about. Why crisp and quiet? Because it's winter time, December 25th, and as they were in trenches, that means they were in a war front. So everywhere quietness was there and crispiness was there. As beautiful a morning as I have ever seen. But that morning seemed to be very beautiful. As cool and frosty as Christmas morning should be. As cold and frosty as a Christmas morning should be. That 25th December, everything was very perfect. You know, that morning was very beautiful. It was very cold. It was frosty there. That should be. And so the person is written it in a very happier, with a very happier frame of mind. Now, word meaning standing to, taking up positions. Taking up positions means only soldiers do that. Trenches, see, these are the trenches. Long deep ditches in ground where soldiers hide themselves from the enemy, and crisp is dry and cold. Now, I should like to be able to tell you that we began it, yes, but the truth, I am ashamed to say that it's that Fritz began it. Fritz is another group, means another country. Two countries are at war front, and Fritz belongs to the enemy group. First, someone saw a white flag waving from the trenches opposite. So, the writer of that letter was enjoying the morning. Suddenly, he saw some white flag waving from the trenches opposite. See, two sides, two enemies, two country soldiers were there. Then they were calling out to us from across no man's land. And there is some special patch of land that is called no man's land. And they were calling out to us from across no man's land. So, what is that? They were calling out to us from across no man's land. Happy Christmas, Tommy. Happy Christmas. Now, from that enemy side, someone is waving white flag and saying to us, Happy Christmas, Tommy. Happy Christmas. When we had got over the surprise, some of us shouted back, Same to you. Friends, same to you. Though thought that would be that, we all did. Now, we thought that only wishing to each other, each country's soldiers, Happy Christmas. Now again they would fight with each other. Everything is over. Christmas is celebrated. But it was not that. What happened? Someone had, see, white flag is waved, then everyone said, cheered or wished each other Happy Christmas, and it was the surprising element, but that was not only that much. What is there? There's more to that, French, a name for German soldier. Always remember there are two countries, German soldiers, French and common Englishman is Tommy. So it's a British soldier. The British and Germans were fighting with each other, and it was Christmas morning when the writer of that letter was enjoying the crisp and cold morning. He saw from that German portion, from the German trench, someone waved white flag and wished them all Happy Christmas. They also said them same to you, and they thought that now it's over, Christmas is celebrated. But it was not that. That would be that means that was all. That was the end of the matter. So always remember there were two soldiers, British. There were two country soldiers, Germany and British, right? Now, but then suddenly one of them was up there in his grey great coat and waving a white flag. Now, French German soldier has grey coat, grey great coat and waving a white flag. Don't shoot, lads, don't shoot, boys. Someone shouted and no one did. Then there was another French up on the parapet. In the parapet and another, all stood up. Keep your heads down. I told the man, it's a trick, but it wasn't. See, in a war front, no one trusts no one. Everyone has doubt in his or her mind. Because when that German soldiers were waving the white flag and wishing, so what this British soldiers thought that it was a trick. They could attack us by diverting our attention. So, as a head of the troop, as a head of the soldiers' troop, the man, he instructed to his soldiers to keep their heads down, and it could be a trick. Now, this is the grey coat, that is great coat, and this is the parapet. See, here it is the parapet. This is a parapet, you can say. This is Bordeaux. And this is German soldiers. One of the Germans was waving a bottle above his head. It's a Christmas day, Tommy. We have synapse. We have sausage. We meet you? Yes. By this time, there were dozens of them walking towards us across no man's land, and not a rifle between them. Little Private Morris was the first up. Come on, boys. What are you waiting for? Now, both British and German were facing each other at a war front. Germans were in their trenches. British were in their trenches. Now, one of the Germans, what the British army, the writer of the letter has seen, one of the Germans was waving a bottle above his head and saying, kids, as it is a Christmas day, Tommy means British Army, because Tommy is a very common English name. We have senaps. Senaps is a drink made with grains, and they have sauces also, and they are asking, can we meet us? Can we meet us? If we can meet us, so we can celebrate Christmas. And this wonderful thing, I don't think if it has happened earlier at the war front. So by this time, there were dozens of them walking towards us, that is to the British Army, across no man's land, and not a rifle between them. Instead of rifle, what did they have? They have sausages, they have bottles of that drink. Little Private Morris was the first up. So from the British troop, who stood first up? It is the Little Morris. What did he say to his soldiers? Come on, boys, what are we waiting for? Now, schnapps is a German drink made from grain. It's a schnapps. See, pronounced as schnapps. So what happened? And then there was no stopping them. From there, German troops is coming. Here the British people are going. I was the officer, the person who was the officer. I should have stopped them there and then. He should stop them. They don't go there. I suppose, but the truth is that it never even occurred to me I should. That this type of condition never have occurred. So he couldn't decide what to do. All along their line and arch, I could see men walking slowly towards one another. Grey coats and khaki coats. Grey coats means your German troops, German army, and khaki coats mean British army. They were meeting in the middle. See, from there German armies, people are coming, German people are coming. From here, British are going, and many people are meeting at no man's land. And I was one of them. When he was one of them, how could he stop others? I was part of this. He was part of that. In the middle of the war, we were making peace. So this beautiful line, the entire soul of this story is that in the middle of the war, we were making peace. And I think this is the reason why the title is the best Christmas present in the world. In the middle of the war, if someone can make peace, so this is the best Christmas present in the world. And so the title is given. So here, in the middle of the war, instead of fighting with each other, both the German and the British troops were making peace. The most beautiful line of this story. You cannot imagine, dearest Connie, my feelings as I looked into the eyes of the fridge officer. Fridge officer, we are saying for the German officer, who approached me, hand outstretched. Hansel, he said, gripping my hand warmly and holding it. So what did he say? Instead of shooting the enemy, he is outstretching his hand and saying Merry Christmas and holding it. That means both the enemies were wishing each other Happy Christmas. I am from Dusseldorf. I play the cello in the orchestra. Happy Christmas. Now Hans Wolf introduced himself, and then he said about his location and said what was his profession before joining army. He used to play cello in the orchestra, and then he wished Happy Christmas. So in this way you are seeing that both were making peace in the middle of the war. Now this is cello. This is a musical instrument like a large violin. Captain Jim McPherson. Now we come to know about the name of the person who is writing a letter to Connie. It's a Jim McPherson. I replied, and a Happy Christmas to you too. I am a school teacher from Dorset. So this person is from Dorset. So he is saying I am a school teacher in the west of England. Dorset is in the west of England. See how both of them have become so good friends. Earlier December 24th, they were enemies. And then December 25th in the morning, they are friends. No, so what have we learned today? We have learned about J. McPherson, his wonderful memory of Christmas Day, and that wonderful memory he is sharing with his wife by writing a letter to her. And here we met Hansel, here we met J. McPherson, here we have seen the effort of the soldiers, how to make peace in the war front. It's a very beautiful story, and you should go through it and tell everyone, your family and your friends about the story. So in the next session, we will come to know what happens later. Till then, enjoy the story. Thank you.